and welcome to Insights IAS. Let's start our discussion. The first issue is your reservation in promotion, not a fundamental right by Supreme Court. Why it is in news? Because Supreme Court mentioned states are not bound to provide reservation in appointments and promotions, and that there is no fundamental right to reservation in promotions. And Supreme Court in this light also mentioned that is it not a fundamental right to reservation in promotions, rather it is a enabling provision. So enabling provision in the sense that when the state intends to do so, in that case their special reports will be there, and according to that will take the action. What Article 16 Clause 4 says, it empowers the state to make any provision for the reservation of the appointments or posts in favor of any backward class of citizens who is, in the opinion of the state, is not adequately represented in the services under the state. By way of 77th Amendment Act, a new clause, that is clause 4A, was added to Article 16, and it empowering the state to make provisions for reservation in matters of promotion to SC/ST employees if the state feels they are not adequately represented in services. Guys, another famous verdict was there in M. Nagraj case, which came in 2006, and in that case the Supreme Court said that the states were bound to provide quantifiable data on the backwardness of SC and STs and the facts about their inadequate representation in the government jobs and the overall administrative efficiency before providing them quota in promotions. So this case is also important. And before that, you know about this case, many cases are there. Indira's Sunny case is there, and this is not required in this sense, so we'll discuss. The state government cannot be directed to provide reservation for appointment in public posts. Similarly, the state is not bound to make reservations for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in matters of promotions. So these points are important from prelim point of view as well. So again, Article 16 Clause 4 and 16 Clause 4A of the Constitution did not confer individuals with a fundamental right to claim reservations in promotion. If the decision of the state government to provide SC/ST reservation in the promotion to a particular public post is challenged, it would have to place the data and prove before the court that the reservation was necessary and doesn't affect the efficiency of the administration. The next issue is your poor compensation for trafficking survivors. Why it was in news? It was based on the data of the NCRB, a non-profit organization, released a report on compensation awarded to survivors of trafficking in the country, which highlighted the poor status of compensation awarded during 2011 to 2019. See, this NCRB is an Indian government agency responsible for collecting and analyzing crime data as defined by the Indian Penal Code and special and local laws also. And guys, remember that it came into existence in 1986 and it comes under Ministry of Home Affairs, and you can say the parent organization is Ministry of Home Affairs and its headquarters is in New Delhi. And the motto of NCRB is empowering Indian police with information technology. Please remember it. This NCRB reports put the total number of cases of human trafficking at 35,983, but only 82 victims were awarded compensation. Out of this, the 35,983. The report titled Uncompensated Victims was released by Sanjog, a technical resource organization that work to combat trafficking and gender-based violence. Then we'll discuss about Central Victim Compensation Fund scheme. After that, we'll discuss also in that light Nirbhaya Fund. The section 357A of Code of Criminal Procedure has provisions to compensate victims who suffered because of a crime. The section 357A also says every state government in coordination with the central government shall prepare a scheme for providing funds for the purpose of compensation to the victim of crime. The government introduced the Central Victim Compensation Fund scheme to enable support to victims of rape, acid attacks, human trafficking, and women killed or injured in the cross-border firing. The next issue is Nirbhaya Fund. Guys, after the incident of 2012 heinous rape case in Delhi, in 2013 budget, this Nirbhaya Fund of worth 1,000 crore rupees came into existence. And this Nirbhaya Fund framework provides for a non-lapsable corpus fund for the safety and security of women, and it is administered by the Department of Economic Affairs of the Ministry of Finance, not Ministry of Home Affairs, and not by Ministry of Women and Child Development. Please remember that it is administered solely by Ministry of Finance, and also implemented by many other ministries like Ministry of Home Affairs, and you can say Ministry of Women and Child Development, but administered by this Ministry of Finance. It can be utilized for projects and initiatives related to women safety. This Nirbhaya Fund is being used in the Central Victim Compensation Fund scheme. The next issue is your Darknet. Before moving to the issue, let's understand the three kinds of web. So just imagine that the internet is kind of iceberg like this. So then three kinds of webs are there. One is surface web, deep web, and dark web. What is the surface web? The surface web is publicly available information, just like your Yahoo, Google, Bing, and you can say Wikipedia entries, free websites, etc. And another is your deep web. This is deep web are information that access controlled informations, just like emails, member only files, medical and bank records. You can say, for example, suppose you are opening a bank account, and after that you are doing this internet banking with some applications, and this kind of data will be stored in deep web. And the most important is your dark web, which need special software to reach. And you can say that's a democratic activism, illicit marketplaces, drug trafficking, and other illegal activities, political protest, TOR, etc. are there in the dark web, and it is very difficult to access. So guys, remember that this surface web constitutes 4% of internet, and this 96% of content is there in the deep web and dark web. In that light, understand why this darknet came into existence. The Narcotics Control Bureau has arrested the country's first darknet narcotics operative under the Narcotics, Drug and Psychotropic Substances Act, that is NDPS Act. This darknet refers to the hidden internet platform, also known as the underworld of the internet. This used for narcotics sale, exchange of pornography content, and other illegal activities by using the secret alias of the Onion router, that is TOR, a free and open source software for enabling anonymous communication. And it is to stay away from the surveillance of law enforcement agencies. It is tough to crack because of its end-to-end encryption very strong. The Narcotics Control Bureau was part of the global Operation Trans. Again, I'm saying Operation Trans by Narcotics Control Bureau. And this was launched in December 2019, which is a joint intelligence gathering action on international postal, express mail, and courier shipments containing psychotropic drugs, and which can only be purchased on a doctor's prescription, that are abused as sedatives and painkillers. The next issue is your NCB, not NCRB, wrongly printed. That is Narcotics Control Bureau. See guys, remember that this Narcotics Control Bureau was constituted in 1986 under the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985, and it comes under Ministry of Home Affairs. This is wrongly typed picture, and this is also National Crime Records Bureau, and it is both National Crime Records Bureau and Narcotics Control Bureau. Both were established in 1986 and comes under Ministry of Home Affairs. The national policy on narcotics, drugs and psychotropic substances is based on Article 47 of the Indian Constitution, which directs the state to endeavor to bring about prohibition of the consumption, except for medical purposes, of intoxicating drugs injurious to health. Drug abuse control is a responsibility of the central government. Then this Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985 provides for the penalty of a property derived from or used in illegal traffic in narcotic drugs. The next issue is your Agartala Akhaura rail link. Let's find out the link. It is a rail link between Dhaka region, where the Akhaura place is there, and Agartala of Tripura, that is between Bangladesh and India. Recently, the central government has announced that the rail line to connect the northeastern region with Bangladesh will be ready by the end of 2021. And Ministry of for Development of Northeastern Region, that is DONER, will bear the cost of laying 5.46 kilometer track on the Indian side, while the cost of laying 10.6 kilometer track on the Bangladesh side is being borne by the Ministry of External Affairs. So this is very important. This 5.46 kilometer by donor and 10.6 kilometer track in Bangladesh side by Ministry of External Affairs. Let's discuss the prelim question which is asked in prelim 2019. Under which schedule of the Constitution of India can the transfer of tribal land to private parties for mining be declared null and void? Options are 3rd schedule, 5th schedule, 9th schedule and 12th schedule. So before moving to the issue, let's discuss in detail why this question came in 2019. Because in prelim in 2019, 125th Constitutional Amendment Bill was introduced in Rajya Sabha by the Ministry of Home Affairs, and the bill amends provisions related to Finance Commission and the 6th schedule of the Constitution. What this 6th schedule says? This says that the administration of tribal areas in the states of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, that is AMTM. So in that sense also this 5th schedule was in the point of discussion, and there one case, that is Supreme Court case, that is Samatha versus State of Andhra Pradesh. That case was there. In that case, Samatha versus State of Andhra Pradesh case, it is told that Constitution of India can transfer of tribal land to private parties for mining be declared null and void under 5th schedule of the Constitution. The case is Samatha versus State of Andhra Pradesh. So in that light, this question was asked. So reading newspaper is very important, and if you are not reading newspaper, then be thorough with current affairs sources and try to analyze from different point of view. So I am saying that in 2019 the issue was 125th Constitutional Amendment Bill, but the question was asked regarding 5th schedule. So this kind of question can be asked in UPSC. So be thorough with that. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.